Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
And then you also talk about making that jump from age group to elite. Obviously, you had, the dream team supporting you and all those people helping you make that jump. But what would you say to some other men or women that are like in age group and not sure if they should, bump it up to elite or not?
Yeah, I think that, and this is kind of what I tell everyone who's like even questioning it, just do it. Like, I mean, I think that even just putting yourself in a position where you're competing against people of like a higher caliber will pretty much instantaneously make you a better competitor yourself, because you'll get to see firsthand like how people are attacking different obstacles using different strategies. And I think that it's like, I don't know, it's pretty apparent like as soon as you do it just how big of a difference that can make. Whereas like I think for me at least, when I those first few races when I started out in age group, it was it was like challenging in the sense that like you weren't necessarily sure first of all who you're competing against. There's kind of a cluster of like men and women. You can get like bottlenecked at obstacles. It's like kind of an interesting situation. Whereas like when you're in the elite wave, like you know who you're competing against, you know you're looking around at your competition and like and it's just like instantly like a different feeling. And I think that it can only benefit someone to race against people who are like one notch higher than they are. And I think that we're, like I said before, like I think everyone at least in the elite women's field, we're very like encouraging and welcoming. We're like hugging each other at the start line, like cheering each other on at the finish. So, um, I think that helps in a way. Like it's a little less of an intimidating factor. And I think the other aspect of it is I think I hear a lot of times from people racing age group that they're still like failing certain obstacles or they're necessarily not like the best runners. Like they have something in their in their like race toolkit that needs work, and like because of that they're waiting like to work on that before entering the elite field. And I think we kind of have to like debunk that. Like I think failing obstacles is part of the sport, and like if we're going to say, oh, you have to be like a perfect clean racer in order to enter the elite field, then we're never going to get anywhere. I think like people have to just start doing it and then like learn along the way, which is kind of what I did. And you learn really quickly. Like the more you race, the better you get. And it's just like a cycle of improvement, I would say.
Yeah, I could see that. You're also exposed to more tactics and stuff because like you know who you're competing against, and so there's a lot more of like the mental battle that you get to improve that aspect of it as well. Um,
Yeah.
so you've been in the sport for a few years now, accomplishing some great achievements, like second in Spartan World Championships in 2021. I had to write that one down because I couldn't remember the year. What are your thoughts on Spartan changing the the format to 3K?
Yeah. I have mixed feelings on it. It's definitely not something that like I would say excites me in the way that like the original or the format that we were used to did. But on the other hand, like I can see why it makes sense. I think that like we're in this phase right now where um like the first couple races that we've seen have been like in a way kind of like a trial of okay, like what does this really look like, what is the format, um and how like how can we change it to be more engaging. And I think it's exciting to see Spartan like try new things and be willing to like adapt kind of on the fly, which I wasn't so sure like how they were going to handle that. And it's encouraging to see that they're like willing to like hear athletes feedback and And they're not going to make every decision in the way that like that's going to please everyone. So we have to kind of like accept that and kind of roll with it, which is part of just like being in the sport in general, is like, you know, races, courses change, like things happen last minute that like you may not be excited about, but like that's just part of the game. For me, I'd say this year is like kind of interesting. I'm like dealing with injury and also kind of trying to figure out like what my path from here is going to be, whether I want to try out this like more short course format or whether I want to kind of more focus on like longer trail stuff and maybe like dabble in the shorter stuff as well. I haven't like totally made up my mind on that, to be honest, but I have enjoyed like getting to see other people try out the 3K format and see like, can I picture myself doing that? Like, what kind of things could I like work on to be competitive in that? It's been helpful for sure.